Welcome to the sun. Oh my lord, I am terrible at introductions sometimes. It's been an absolute palaver. Right. Welcome to the Sunday Social. I am Mr. Shift, and let's get straight into this month's episode. This month, I'll be going over CV beats. I speak with last month's Flip It competition winner, and we get an exclusive performance and interview from them, which was Nanjing Lu. We then go into August's Flip It competition. We'll also show what the sample is for this month, new music coming up, and then what actually comes next. So let's kind of jump straight into this. So first off, we'll go into CV Beats. So CV Beats started last month, so thank you to everyone who came down. Our next in-person session will be the 26th of August. And that will be at the LTB showrooms in Coventry, just by the Coventry train station. So if you are interested, come join us. Some details are now showing up on screen. So again, this will be from 12 till 4 p.m. It's free to everyone. Anyone can turn up. Just turn up. Everyone come. Now, what we've got is a bit of an actual agenda this time around. So basically, we have a koala introduction. So this is Koala Sampler. So if you have any interest in learning sample-based production with this powerful tool or want to show off your skills, come down. I'll be doing an introduction to the actual app itself. It's probably one of the best things on the market at the moment for such a low price value. There is a cost to it. I think it's around £4 or £5, and there's a £2.99 addition to it called Samurai. I'd recommend just getting that as well. It's a full sample-based instrument. It's incredible. So I'll just bring up just some quick details about it, if you just give me a moment. Now, I've popped a QR code up as well, so if you just scan the screen with your camera or with your device, should bring up all the details from there for this app. And again, we'll be going over all the fundamentals with it, how to import samples, how to initially chop them, basically how to even perform with them with the onboard FX tools. So if you have any interest at all, I really recommend popping down. And again, this will be at the LTB showrooms in Coventry. Now, this will be on the I can't even see my dates. It will be on the 26th of August from 12 till 4 p.m. So again, I hope to see yourselves there. We'll try and cover as much as we can during that time, but this will be the last Saturday of every month going forward. So if you don't miss this session, don't worry. Now, on the other hand, we also have an online session starting from next week. So this will be from 2 p.m. on our Discord. So if you have any interest in music production, you can't make the event, or if you just want to turn up anyway, it's open to everyone. So if you just look in the description, you'll see details about the Discord link there, and just join and have some fun. So it'll be all good from there. Now we're going to go into the actual Flip It competition. So in our last battle, we saw Nanjing Lu take the vote and win the first Flip It competition. The following week, I was able to actually chat with him about his journey as a producer, his influences, his background. Also, as well, more detail about him, as it turns out he's a full-time musician as well. So I'm going to throw to the tape now, and I'll be back in a few moments. You're here, thank frickin' God. So for everyone else kind of listening or watching at the moment, my name is Mr. Shift. Welcome. This should hopefully be part of the Sunday Social. Joining me today is our Flip It competition winner, Nanjing Lu. First off, thank you for joining me today. I just wondered, could you just kind of give us a little bit of history about yourself, kind of what your musical journey's been, and kind of in the past, say, 2-3 years, kind of what's on with yourself?
Yeah, so I come from a sort of live band background. I've always been like live bands. I played guitar, learned guitar guitar's my first instrument, and I played a lot of folk music as well. I've been in folk bands and stuff, playing the mandolin. But then, sort of a couple of years ago, mainly during lockdown, I got really into production. I needed something to do because there was no gigs. I couldn't teach any lessons. I needed to keep the music going. So I started teaching myself some basic stuff on Logic and production wise. kind of got into the lo-fi genre because it's just quite chilled. Um, yeah, it's just good, nice, good vibes really, and also it's good to like with a light lo-fi tune, you can have a bit of guitar as your melody, you can have the drums in the back, and it can be a really nice full piece of music. So you can mix live instrumentation with it as well. And then I just started producing from there, quite slowly to begin with. But because I'm usually more into like my rock and stuff like that. Well, before this, I was more into sort of rock stuff. There's a bit of a shift in dynamics, but I like the kind of ambient style of rock a lot. So that kind of comes across in my recordings. Really, we can hear like the ambient sounds in the background a lot of the time. And then been doing that production sort of stuff for a little while, and then recently I've got the SP that me and you talk about a lot, the SP404 Mark II, and that's like kind of completely changed the way I make music now. So it's still like lo-fi, but instead of using a DAW, I'm on the SP, and it's pretty cool. A lot of fun.
Yeah, cool. So just kind of going from the SP itself, what kind of led you to actually pick up the SP?
I think so. I like using a DAW. I really like using it, but it just kind of feels like you're not really like playing music when you're sort of like clicking notes and copy and pasting. When you've got something physical there and you're just sort of like in the zone with it, it feels much more. It feels more musical. It feels like you're actually you're interacting with something rather than just sort of clicking and copy and pasting. It's, obviously, you can still plug your keyboard in and play MIDI, but there's something very like really cool about like you could just turn a knob and it just like creates a wacky sound, So it's definitely changed the way I play music.
Yeah, one of the things I found it's just you once you get your head around that workflow, you can pretty much do it anywhere. So for example, like you could just be on your desk, or for example, like how I've used it in some applications, you'd literally be on the couch. It's just that kind of portability, and then once you figure that workflow out and its limitations, the limitations itself kind of help with the creative side to it, because you know how far you can push it. No, that's really
totally agree with that.
Really interesting. So one of the things just wanted to kind of go from there. So how do you incorporate those kind of guitar elements and using live instruments into that So do you directly input them into your SP? Do you resample, or do you directly record, for example?
Kind of. Actually, so I started off recording into the SP with a guitar. Then I broke the input, so I don't do that anymore.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. I don't know how I did that, but I've got to get it fixed. It should be pretty easy fix. Haven't got around to it yet. So now I just record on the SP, get the general beat, the general vibe going, get like an idea, and then I'll usually sort of import that stuff into Logic, and then tweak it a little bit more, maybe get a bit of sidechain compression on there or something for the kick, and then I'll whack on like just a bit of like ambient guitar over the top just to kind of fill it out. But it's different though, I try and like not use the same workflow each time. So sometimes I might record something and resample it onto the SP. Sometimes it's just like put it on at the end to give it a bit more melody or something. Yeah, I got a couple of hit pieces, a couple of releases coming out the next few months, and they're both using the SP, but I've used them in completely different ways. One of them, I've recorded a MIDI piano sound and then put it onto the SP, just drag and dropped it with the app, and then sort of remixed it on there, like chopped it up a little bit. The other one, I just kind of was messing around on the SP, and then afterwards recorded some guitar over the top of it. So I go about it different ways each time.
No, that's really cool. How would you describe your style? Is it because you've mentioned you try and use that different workflow each time? Does that mean you don't stay within the parameters? So, for example, you mentioned lo-fi. Do you just
Yeah.
specifically, in the sense of how you create, you are aiming to create lo-fi, or is it more like you said earlier, because you're trying different workflows now, you're just literally creating? So
Yeah.
you're not kind of pigeonholing yourself into that genre. You're trying to, is it now expanding a bit more now that you're learning
Yeah.
those limitations and those other influences are coming in?
Definitely expanded recently. So I've got Nanjing Lu. That's my sort of main project. That's my lo-fi. So I've been doing lo-fi stuff for a little while, but I don't always actually listen to much lo-fi. The stuff I listen to is often a bit darker and a bit. I sometimes do, but it can be. I like stuff that's a bit more energetic, a bit more upbeat as well. You know, a slow drum isn't always what I want to hear. So a lot of the stuff I make is like electronic, a bit faster, a bit more glitchy. And like, you know, maybe a bit more of a house influence, and then having guitar in there as well. But I still like making lo-fi stuff. I think it's quite a nice thing to have. Like, it's just a fun thing to make for me. It's cool to have like something like a bit dusty and grimy, and you know. But yeah, I like faster stuff a lot as well. Yeah,
Really cool.
a bit glitchy. I'm into like you know, Aphex Twin and old sort of electronic music. I used to be massively into Phoenician snares and stuff like that. So that comes across in my other type of electronic music.
No, that's really cool. So you mentioned you actually kind of the same as myself with because I'm being honest, I started creating lo-fi, and then kind of it's getting more energetic as time goes on. And one of the things I found was, yes, it's a nice genre to create in, but maybe good for working and stuff like that. But you want that more energetic side to it. And just in general, really good time to kind of mention, if you're looking for kind of that evolution, there's someone I would recommend called, sadly the individual's passed away, it's Ras G. Also,
Ras G.
Yes. So he is a producer in LA, was really quite big in the beat scene, and basically did that evolution as well, but did it more with soul breaks and kind of that more energetic gospel as well. 100% recommend to check out, because literally everything that was created was just on an SP. And for example, there's a few songs that are literally repetition of, say, some vocal samples, but some of it is just completely insane, the sort of tones and sounds that come out of it. There's a few, he's done a Boiler Room DJ set, and basically this is years and years ago, I think it's about 10, and he's literally just doing the whole set on an SP connected through into a laptop. It's just really, really inspiring stuff. And then of course, like DBRC, for example, if you want to see kind of if you want to see that energetic side, I really recommend looking on basically kind of just having a little kind of look into it, because it's just, you'll kind of see like, for example, when we had that conversation before, we've met previously at a electronic music open mic, you when you said you kind of, I never looked at using an SP and kind of that that capacity. That's how it was for myself when I saw the sort of tones and sounds that were created via the methods they used. You kind of you'll fall into that rabbit hole, and I really hope you do. So just to move on from there. So we've gone over your style, we've just briefly gone over some of your influences, but what about yourself in general? Because you say you have many projects. So for example, electronic on some side with the lo-fi as well. Kind of who would you say your biggest influence for producing would be? Who was the one that kind of was like, oh, I want to make music now, like that's really cool, I want to try that?
Production wise, I think a guy called Shlomo. Listen to it, Shlomo. He's really cool. He's lo-fi, but also it's really kind of like got a really dark undertone to it. In fact, it kind of reminds me of that sort of like industrial stuff that you mentioned, but maybe a bit like toned down, not quite as heavy sounding, but still kind of got that creepy, unusual kind of edge. His stuff is really cool. Like, massive fan of him. He managed it's very lo-fi. Like, you know, it's really, really dusty sounding, but then he's got these just like beautifully haunting melodies as well. His album. So he had one called Bad Vibes, which is like a 2011 album. I still listen to it, and it just sounds so fresh. just so cool. And then his 2019 album, I think it's called The End, is just absolutely insane. How he's made something so lo-fi, but like it really kind of captures you and pulls you in, like these like really catchy melodies. Definitely check them out. Yeah, Slow Mo.
100% sold. I'm gonna check that out.
There's a few others too. Like production wise, I've really got into Max Cooper recently. His stuff's pretty awesome. And also just, as I was saying earlier, like Aphex Twin stuff like that is like kind of the reason I really kind of got into that style of music. But I mean, for going away from electronic music, I really like post rock and like ambient sort of textured music. Like a band called This Will Destroy You. Like they're probably my favourite bands ever. Hopefully seeing them this year actually. But like really nice kind of guitar lines, build-ups, gradual, like usually like 15-minute long songs with like one guitar riff going over and over again. But yeah, it's just something about it that really kind of captures my interest a lot.
No, that's wicked. Yeah. Thank you. So thanks again to Nanjing Lu for winning last month's Flip It competition. So Flip It, shall we go into what's coming up for August Flip It, shall we? So this month's sample is an unreleased track from 1978. The movie soundtrack it is from is Dawn of the Dead. It's one of the unreleased tracks from the actual movie. Now the rules are pretty much simple. You have 2 weeks to produce a 130-second song or beat. Best flip wins. Tag or DM myself at Mr. Shift UK on Instagram to enter. And entries close 27th of August at 7 p.m. British summer time. So let's actually have a little listen to the sample, shall we? Why is that not working? Bear with me a moment. There we go. So let's listen to that sample. Right, let's go. And that was our sample for this August's Flip It competition. So, as I mentioned before, you've got 2 weeks to produce a 130-second song or beat, and the best flip wins, as voted by all you. We'll go over this in the next Sunday social, so we'll decide who goes head-to-head. But again, you've got until the 27th of August, till 7 p.m. British summer time to enter. So just tag or DM me at Mr. Shift UK, and we'll just go from there and see what you can come up with. So speaking of music, we got new music coming up. So I've been sitting on the effing Bruce for a while now, and it's about time it came out. So it comes out tomorrow. So that will be the 14th of August. I have a few other tracks I'm working on as well, and I can't wait to show you the new sound. It's definitely a hell of a lot different. Understatement of the year. But the Bruce will be out on all platforms from tomorrow. Now, if you want to get a high quality download of that, because we all know streaming services ruin songs sometimes, it's pretty much, honestly. You can get that song available on Bandcamp. I'll put that up tomorrow as well, and that'll be a high quality download, and it's name your price like it is with all my music. I'm doing this for fun, so if you can't afford it, you get it for free. It's completely fine. I'll be actually performing some of these songs at my next set at Dylan's Brewery on Friday, August 18th from 7 o'clock. Come check that out. If you're a DJ or a performer yourself and you're looking to get some practice, Full Fat DJ at Dylan's Brewery. It'll be on the third week this week, but usually it's on the the second Friday of every month from 7 o'clock. So if you want to get your practice in, look up Full Fat DJ on Instagram and basically contact them and they'll be able to get you set up. So again, can't wait for that, to be perfectly honest, and looking forward to hearing some of these new songs on a proper system. So what's next? What is next? Ooh, what's that? 20th of August? That looks cool. So where to really start with this? This is kind of the calm before the storm. So from August 20th, I'll be kind of stepping up everything, really. So there'll be a new dedicated platform for all my non-music endeavors, including future events. So this has been a long time coming. If you've followed me for over the past decade, I've tried to find the right angle to create content and create content I enjoy. And kind of since creating Mr. Shift, I finally realized what that angle is. And that angle is just doing whatever I want. Sounds dumb, but it's pretty much simple. So expect some cool stuff coming up real soon. So the announcement is from next Sunday, and that will be on August 20th. A special date if you are a cyberpunk fan. Very special date. So if you're a musician, DJ, or performer in the West Midlands or the Coventry area, get in touch, as I want to work with you. I've got some truly awesome things planned, and I really want to get everyone involved and kind of showcase the talent that Coventry has and basically get some really good events going. So again, this will be on August 20th, and then we'll go from there. Oh, I can't wait. I'm trying not to really spoil anything, so it's like trying to keep my mouth shut. It's like impossible. It's just one of those. So that's around about it. Now, what we've got next is an exclusive performance from Nanjing Lu. Basically, what he did was when he actually recorded his submission for the competition, he actually recorded himself as well. So we're going to go to that. So here is Nanjing Lu with an exclusive performance of his Flippic winning beat. Over to you. So thanks again to Nanjing Lu for sending that through. That's just so sick. That breakdown bit is just absolutely wicked. So that's it for this month's Sunday Social. So to sum up what we've kind of gone over, CV Beats, our next sessions are, so from next Sunday, we'll have our online session from 2 o'clock on Sunday in British time. And then on the 26th of August, we'll have our in-person event at the LTB Showrooms, Coventry. And basically what we'll be going over, so from 12:30 till 1:30, we'll be going through a koala sampler introduction. From 1:30 till around 3 o'clock, we'll then go through to an open session. So we'll just basically create some sick tunes and have some fun. And then from 3 o'clock till 4 o'clock, we'll have an open aux. So I've got access to their PA system, and we'll just basically perform some songs, see what sounds good, and have some practice as well. Now, on the other side, we've got some new music as well coming tomorrow with the Effin' Bruce. That will be available on all platforms. And then finally, we'll have the grand reveal of what's coming up next, kind of the evolution of Mr. Shift. Oh, and finally, I just realized I didn't even mention one of the main bits, the Flip It sample competition. So you have 2 weeks to get a beat through to me. So if you have any interest at all, we'll just quickly bring this back up again. So again, you've got 2 weeks to produce a 130-second beat or song. Best flip wins. And you've got till the 27th at 7 p.m. So thank you for joining me today. My name's been The Great Red Shift. You've been watching The Great Red Shift. Mr. Shift, completely different name. Oh my God, Matthew, what the hell? I've been Mr. Shift. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.